The soybean crop growing in the farm fields across this country is making progress this year, but there are always discussions on how to best get that crop to its final end user. Joining us now for that discussion is Meagan Kaiser. She's a Missouri soybean farmer currently serving as chair of the United Soybean Board. And Meagan, fill us in first. How are things looking in Missouri?
Well, it's been a dry year for Missouri. I think quite a few areas have been battling drought conditions, but our farm in particular, we would love a few more showers as we start to watch as the grain fills.
I think you and a lot of other folks throughout the Corn Belt are sitting in that same boat. Now, Meagan, let's talk about soybeans getting to that final destination. Infrastructure is vital to American soybean growers, isn't it?
Well, that's right. It's important to every single one of us. So we can't get our grain from our farm to the global marketplace without having really an interdependence on each other and our nation's infrastructure.
What are some ways that the Soybean Board has worked to encourage that infrastructure build out?
So it's pretty exciting that we were able to, kind of like farmers normally do, sit around a coffee table and say, what are the things that are keeping us back, that are holding us back from being the most sustainable, reliable deliverer of soy in the global marketplace. And one of those areas is our waterway infrastructure. And so the first place that we looked to engage was the dredging of the lower Mississippi River was a project that had been approved by the federal government. And we wondered what's keeping that from happening. And it turned out that there was a portion called planning and design that had not been funded. And so soy farmers said, what if as a checkoff, we're able to invest in things like studying something or planning for something or designing something, and it was a natural fit to say, what if we invested $2 million in making sure that the planning and design of that project were fit? And then it was met by investment of $245 million, not only by the federal government, but the state of Louisiana. And that project, it was just a really great template. It was one of the first times the Soy Checkoff was really able to engage. And it was through our partnership with the Soy Transportation Coalition, the U.S. Soybean Export Council, and the American Soybean Association, and our public partners to really make that come to fruition. And that dredging is happening today because of the barrier of entry that the checkoff knocked out.
It is, Meagan. It's so neat to see what you can do with leverage. You mentioned the importance of getting these crops on barges. I understand the Soy Checkoff has been instrumental in helping refurbish some lock and dams. Is that right?
That's correct. So one of the ways that we can engage, the checkoff, we can't own anything, but we can break down barriers of entry. And one of those ways is helping out with the studying and the planning and engineering that happens before any of these infrastructure projects even take place. And so it's really exciting that we, as farmers, are seeing something tangible and we're having a real impact.
Meagan, before we let you go, any final thoughts for growers here as we get deeper into summer?
Well, I hope that you are proud. As we all have our challenges on the farm, but I hope that you're proud of the work that your checkoff is doing as we work together and we pool our resources to have an impact, not only in the Gulf of Mexico, on the Mississippi River, but even at the Port of Grays and the Pacific Northwest, that from sea to shining sea, we are working on improving our reliability and sustainability of getting our crop to the global marketplace.
That's Meagan Kaiser, chair of the United Soybean Board. Meagan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.